Welcome to Cherry Bomb Coliseum, where two pitches battle it out. I am your inaugural host and combatant, Aaron, and with me, my first opponent, Davon. Davon, how's it going?
This is going well. I'm pretty excited to be here.
I,
I'm ready to get some pitches out.
I know this has actually been a long time coming, and you've actually helped me, try to develop this idea. So hopefully it'll go very well in this first test. Hopefully it's good enough to post. I'm hoping.
Uh, I'm just excited. I mean, it's been kind of a roller coaster getting this situated,
Oh yeah,
but
yeah,
we're
you're
here.
telling me.
I'm ready. I'm ready to get this going, though. I'm
All right,
excited.
all
I'm glad to
right.
be here.
So the first topic up for pitches today, the inaugural one will be sports anime, but to be more specific, it's going to be hockey anime. So before we a little backstory before we put up the recording, we were talking about sports anime. And I just happened to let out the one that I was going to say was going to be hockey, and you also have one that was hockey. So what instead of using two different sports, which we would probably do on a regular basis, for today let's pitch two different hockey anime. Hopefully they're not too similar.
I hope. Like honestly, I just wanted to give a little bit of backstory. The whole reason why I said thought of a hockey anime was because when I was out there in San Jose, I remember the Sharks game like
And
perfectly. And I was like, I had so much fun. And I was like, how cool would it be if we had hockey anime?
that was your first hockey game, right? When we went out
Yeah, that was my
there.
first hockey game. Yeah, it was definitely my first hockey game. It was like the best experience I ever had at a sports, like any type of sports game.
It's so weird too, because like I don't know if it's like this in every other arena, but humble brag, but anywhere you sit, uh, in our arena in San Jose, it's like a perfect seat for hockey. It's like,
There's like just some kind of energy
oh,
about
for sure.
San Jose. Like
Yeah,
I think just San Jose in general, there's just like this energy that's out there that it's like everyone's like in tune with everybody. So it seems like everyone's always having a good time and it's always exciting. And it wasn't even really that big of a game. There really wasn't that many people, but it was just so loud in there.
yeah, it was dope. Hopefully, sooner or later you and your girl can come out here and come to another game because that was really fun.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna come back to go watch the San Jose Sharks again.
All right, do you want to go first or do you want me to go first?
Um, I'll go first.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
So my pitch for an anime slash light novel
Wait,
would
so wait,
be
before you go, do you have a name for this, or is
I don't have a name yet.
okay? Yeah, go ahead. No, you're good.
So mine is it's hockey, but it's street hockey.
Okay.
So my setting takes place. The first episode, I would say, starts on a football field. The main character is like an amazing football player. He's in high school, already got accepted to an amazing college, getting ready to play his last game, and something goes wrong. He gets an injury, and they tell him he can never play football ever again.
Hmm.
So he's distraught, depressed, doesn't know what he wants to do. He goes through rehab, tries to get the injury back, but it's just not the same. He tries to get back on the field, but it just doesn't feel the same.
Hmm.
So he's walking down the street, kind of depressed, and all of a sudden he just sees a hockey puck fly in front of his face. And he's like, huh, what is that? He goes over, and there's these street hockey players. The guy comes over, picks up the puck, kind of gives him this glare. And he was, the whole time he's just trying to find he's trying to find that thrill, that excitement, or that energy. That gave him the energy that gave him the same feeling during football,
Hmm.
but he can't find it. He's tried everything. He's tried other sports. He's tried gambling. He's tried like fighting, but he just can't find the same thrill that he found in football. And so he goes over, watches the hockey game. He's interested and talks to the guys after the game, kind of gets an idea of how the game works. He's never played hockey in his life.
Mm-hmm.
I want to put that. Never played hockey. He's really never watched it, but he just the way that he sees the guy like hit him and kind of like just the energy out there. Like you know how like in anime you see the aura.
Yeah.
I kind of want to have that kind of like the aura around it has like that same aura that football has, and it gets him excited. He gets this thrill again, and he feels his heart pumping, and kind of gets that urge to go out there and see what's going on. But he goes and approaches the coach, and the coach kind of just waves him off. And he's like, I know who you are. You're an ex-football player, and we don't want your kind around here. We don't want your we don't want
racism.
Your,
I got you.
Yeah, exactly. The whole stigma of you're a football player, you're not ready for what this hockey world has for you, kind of like I'm tougher than you mentality. Like
yeah,
football is nothing compared to what hockey players go through. So he's mad. So he goes to the sports store. He looks at hockey sticks and hockey pucks and just tries to get hockey gear. And he starts practicing, but he has no clue what he's doing. And one of the guys that he's seen on the hockey field comes up to him and he starts talking to him and was like, do you really want to do this? And he's like, yeah, like I'm trying to find this thrill again. I'm like, I'm missing out. I'm trying to find something that's going to, in a sense, complete me. That how that trope in the anime where it's like I'm incomplete and I don't know how to find kind of that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So he goes and he goes, teaches him the ropes, plays his first hockey game. Totally different. Did not expect anything. I mean, it's like he's tired. Like they're hitting a lot harder, and they're playing dirty, and they he sees fights break out, and he's just like, this is a whole different world. Like I don't know if I'm ready for this, and he kind of falls in that little like I don't think I can do this. I don't know if I really want to do this, and then he just that one moment where he finally gets his shot and he hits the guy and he falls over, and he's like, this is the thrill I've been looking for. This is the excitement I'm looking for, and that's kind of where like. I want the anime to kind of take place and kind of set off,
right?
Obviously it's going to have it. Yeah, the setup. It's obviously going to have it's like, the training and like getting prepared for his real official first game. I mean, there's going to be turmoils with different players. I don't want it to be too tropey of a sports anime. I do want to add like different little quirks into the anime. Like obviously, like I don't want him to be. I want him to go into the hockey world completely fresh. Like I want it to be just because he has a football background. I want it to be like that's cool, but it's not. It's nothing compared to what you're gonna experience in hockey.
Okay, I really do like that. I wish I had a camera on my face the whole time you were talking about it because I was getting fucking amped the whole time you were talking about it. I would watch the shit out of that, honestly.
Like. I want it to be like from the ground up. Like I want to like the comparison. I watched this anime called Days. That's kind of where I got the idea. It's a soccer anime, and it's about a kid who literally has no soccer experience, but he sees like no sports. He's never played a sport a day in his life. He's super clumsy, like not athletic at all, and he sees his first soccer game and he just fell in love immediately and wanted to play soccer. And he kind of like just worked his way from the ground up, like further than the ground, probably rose his hand out of the ground all the way up to, and even when he did get to that point, it did a good job of showing how much he needed to learn still. I feel like in sports anime, sometimes I feel like they get too carried away and start kind of just pretty much putting a rocket to the character's back and shoots them off.
Right. I get you.
And like it bothers me because it's like just because you played one sport doesn't mean you're good at another sport. A lot of times, a lot of sports are completely different, and there's a lot of different aspects in different types of sports. Yeah. It's like you can't play football and then go into rugby and think, oh, you're going to be fine. Rugby is a whole different world than football.
Oh, yeah. I mean, like it's like I guess like almost like a lateral sport.
Yeah.
It's like really close, but not quite the same.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, I really do enjoy that idea, and it's not even like ice hockey, which is what mine is. Like it's even
Okay.
more, like it's even a more niche sport, which is pretty cool. I
Yeah, I just wanted to be like a little. My when I was thinking of the idea, I was like, I had ice hockey at first, but I was like, I kind of wanted it to be a little bit more, because street hockey is a little bit more rugged.
yeah
Yeah, I kind of wanted that kind of rugged, like kind of like a more more street type of like outlook on it. I wanted to see. I don't want it to be like. I'm not saying ice hockey is like glamorous, but it's more official. I want it to be like he came
street.
from official sport. He came from like being a pristine football player, getting ready to go into college, probably like jet fueling his way to the NFL. But like I want it to be like kind of like that. I want you to feel it like that crash down, and then I want you to go into a world where it's not as official, and it's like because I want it to be where you're not. I want the character to feel not welcome, but he's determined to get his foot in the door.
All right,
So I feel
yeah,
like that was a great way to like get that emotion in the anime and
yeah.
really feel for the character.
Yeah, that sounds like actually a pretty dope idea. All right. So you're ready for my? Now I felt like my idea is almost completely unoriginal. Now you're
I'm sorry.
flying out of the water.
I didn't mean to go so hard. My
I
bad.
know, and I don't have my notes, so now I'm like, oh god, I gotta come up with the backstory. Oh god.
It's all right. I'm here. I'm ready to listen. Open mind. I'm
Yeah,
sure it's gonna be fine.
yeah. I know. Mine's not a little bit more simple. I guess it is a little bit more simple because I didn't really come up with a backstory for mine or anything like yours. But so mine is about like it's like a college kid, coming his way up. Like he's good, like he's gonna make it to the AHL, but he's a center and he's not too good at the center position, but he's played the center position his whole life. He as growing up as a kid, he grew up like in the Midwest, so he has no what's the word I'm looking for? No easy access to like to rinks. So
The
like
rings.
yeah, so like every day he wants to practice, he has to travel like an hour by bus and then like an hour back home. So like this means a lot to him that he got to this college level and this like and he's about to enter the AHL, but he's just not good enough. But
Okay.
so he's at this crossroads where he's like, I can either still be the center or I can move on and try to do something else.
It's
So
kind of like in the fork in the road, kind of like the point where he wants to give up.
yeah, exactly. It's like this is the best of my abilities. Like I'm not a very good scorer, but I played center my whole life and all this stuff. So what it comes down to it is the coach or his coach is like, you have really good reflexes and you're a strong guy. Let's put you on the defense. Let's put you on the defense line. So
Right.
he goes from being the center, which is like the pivotal, the offense runs through him, to like working on the back line and like helping out the goalie. And then from there, I actually want him to go even more down. Like I want him to become the goalie. So now he doesn't even touch the puck as much as he used to. So now he has to get over like the fact that you know, he's not calling the plays anymore. He's not scoring. He's not facilitating as much. Now he's more of a like he has to be more of a team player than he was before. But he's actually like really good. Like he has really good like reflexes. It's just that like his moment of thinking like like calling up plays or calling up different things is not like doesn't come natural to him. So here, as just like as a goalie, like he can slow play a lot more things, and with his fast reflexes and like he can analyze things more easier as a goalie. Um, and like I want him to like to work his way up. Like the first arc would be like working his way up to the AHL, and then from like the AHL to like the NHL, and then like then once you get to the NHL, you can start doing like more difficult things, like have him start like have him on like a loaded team in the AHL where like they easily win like the playoffs, and then he goes into the like he gets drafted into the NHL, but he gets drafted for like a crappy team because he's really good, and so he goes to a
Right.
crappy team to begin with. So then he has to basically learn how to lose again, and all while being like, because he's a top prospect, and now he's actually making money. Now you can go into like the fact of like how does he handle his fame? How does he handle this money? Like a newfound fame, newfound money, and like how his ego deals with it. Like how does he feel? Like what does he feel like? Like he's finally made it to the big leagues, and then he gets fucking like roped, like
Oh god.
5 goals. And then he has to go and hold the clipboard, and like how that like how that makes him feel. So yeah,
That sounds really dope. Like honestly, like I like the ups and downs, like how you like where he's like he finally gets his dream. He kind of like finally gets to really play hockey. Because I mean, like from what it sounds like, he's really was just training on his own. He had no like
yeah,
help. He didn't, there was no ring except like accessible to him. Um, and when he did, it's an hour away. It's like that's so much time that it shows like how hard he worked to get to where he was, and then they kind of like dropped him down a notch where it kind of like you can put in like it can really show of like, dang, like maybe I didn't work hard enough, and like kind of like why am I a goalie? Like I'm a center. Like I've
yeah.
been working so hard to be a center. Like this is my spot. I'm
My
playing a position.
so my whole idea is like his whole life he's been trying to put like a square in a round hole where he's like,
Yeah,
no, I'm a center. Like this is what I am. I'm a center. But then like as he starts going down to like more matching his skill set, like he figures out like, oh, maybe I wasn't like not right away he figures it out, but more right away he's like, no, like a goalie is where like I excel the most at.
or like where he finds that like that thrill of being a goalie. Like maybe he just thinks like, oh, I'm a goalie.
Yeah, like goalies don't
Uh,
do anything. Goalies don't score. Goalies don't
and he kind of sees how important the goalie position is, and like that's really cool. That I definitely watched that.
like
Just and especially like the second part where it kind of shows like the trials and tribulations of the fame. Like that's really cool too. A lot of anime don't really go dive deep into something like that.
and then so I was bouncing in between the positions I wanted him to play, so either defenseman or goalie, because I feel like even defenseman is more of an ego check because defensemen aren't really like people don't really talk about them. Like
Right.
they're not like big, like they're not like forwards and they're not centers, you know. And at least a
Right.
goalie, there's only one goalie, and at least like, you can spotlight on them.
That's kind of like on topic, off topic. That's kind of like what a catcher is to baseball. People see the catcher, people who are not in tune into baseball and don't really know the like don't dive deep into the game, don't understand like how important the catcher position is. So
Yeah,
a lot of people when they go and watch a game, they just don't notice like how much a catcher does and how much
how much
they
work they actually put
really
in.
direct the game. Right.
Yeah, like they're literally like the captain of the team. Like they tell people when to move up, when to move out, like all
Right.
that stuff, right? The shifts.
They're pretty much directing the game. They're pretty much the ones who are like, kind of swaying the game and like how like catchers really determine on how like the energy of the game kind of runs like the what's the word I'm looking for I can't think of the word. It's kind of like the motion of the game, how it flows, like how well the game flows, depending on how like do you want it to be aggressive? Do you want to be passive? It really determines on what the position. Like you said, the positions move up, shift left, right. The calls.
Yeah.
I mean, even the coach, like the coach and the catcher, they have to be in tune with each other. They have to,
one wants like the catcher has to know what the coach would do in that situation.
Right. And there's so many signs that the catcher has to pay attention to. I mean, you have to see how does the batter stand? How does he swing? Where's the sweet spot for him? There's so many, and outside of the game, there's so much studying that baseball players have to do as well. Like they have to study a lot of their opponents. Think about how many people are on the field and how many people are playing the game. You have to study and like look at all the little nicks and crannies of like what someone does, what they don't do. How does the players play? How does the team play?
Yeah, and that's actually what I was looking for in my hockey anime is I want more like inside baseball. No pun intended, but yeah, like more like inside things than just being like, oh well, here's the center and he like shoots it and he calls the plays, and like
right. You want to dive deep into like what the position means. You want to have that. You want to give the watcher that kind of
Like
I want you to learn. I want you to learn about hockey while you're enjoying watching this anime.
Exactly. Like
I feel like that's what really good sports anime do. Really, like when your anime is really good. I feel like that's what they try to do. Like Ace of Diamonds, you could know nothing about baseball, but I guarantee after you watch that anime, you'll know a lot about baseball. You not know everything, but you'll know a lot more about baseball.
Like, did you know that there's multiple goalie stances?
I did not know that.
So like, there's like the butterfly stances, like how they different stances, like basically how they position their arms. If you look at the different holes, it makes like a butterfly. There's like weird thing, yeah. So like it makes it different gaps, like the different holes, like the 5-hole, and like all the different gap, like how to block different get gaps and stuff. There's like this weird like intricacies to it, like which stance is the best one to take.
See, the average or the casual watcher wouldn't know things like that.
Yeah, exactly. It's a kind of a deep, not really deep, but it's one of those things that you have to be a little bit more than casual to know, like the difference between certain stances. Like some goalies are like they're known for their butterfly stance, and so like it makes it like harder to score on them while they're in that stance. And like so then the intricacies become like, how do you get them to move from that position? How do I score? How do I position the puck differently to get them out of their stance? Or how do I just beat them at their stance that they're good at? Stuff like that.
That I like your anime. I think yours is way better than mine.
Nah. Oh, and I forgot to mention my favorite part of this anime is the name of it. So I was looking up different hockey quotes, and the one, so I didn't want to say it at the beginning because it kind of spoils that he becomes a goalie. But this quote, it's unattributed to nobody, but it's my goal is to stop yours.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah, so that's what it would be called. Like my goal is to stop yours.
That's tight. That's a good name.
Yeah. All right, so I think
Now you.
Yeah, I think that should be good enough, right? For that's the first episode. I felt pretty good about that. We actually went 24 minutes. So
I feel like that was a good time. I enjoyed it. I want to pitch another one. It was really fun.
Oh, I know we can do some more after this, but I didn't even feel like 25 minutes went by.
It
went by pretty fast.
I'm surprised it was. I thought it was like 10 to 15 minutes we were talking, but we get on these like subjects of anime or
And
conversations
just go.
and just yeah, it just goes.
All right, so you can catch the normal thing with me and Jay, anime cherry bomb. You follow us, find it on the SoundCloud, the iTunes, and on this very YouTube channel. I know Davon was talking about he has some stuff coming up. If you want to, I don't know, let us know what's cooking in the crock pot right now.
Yeah, the crock pot. I have a podcast I'm gonna start doing here soon. No names yet. I'm still kind of brainstorming, but
Yeah, as soon as you get that up, we'll for sure pimp it.
for sure. I'm trying to work with Aaron, of course. I want Aaron to work with me on this podcast. I'm trying to get some other people. I've actually talked to some other people, trying to get interviews and um, basically I want to do movies, review movies and soundtracks. So I want to do them as a collective. Like I want to somehow intertwine the movie and the soundtrack into one podcast. I want to like how the soundtrack benefits the movie and how the movie benefits the soundtrack. And I
Okay.
kind of want to dive deep into like music, um, and into the songs, why they picked the song, why the song was picked, or why I think the song was picked, and how I felt during the scene, or how I felt why it shouldn't be in there or why it should be in there. That's
We
kind of
can
the idea I want so far.
we can do a whole series about like Edgar Wright movies. So it's like Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, World's
Right.
End.
That's kind of where I was leading to. I kind of want to do I want to separate it into a genre, or I want to separate it into
Director.
like the director.
Well, like Tarantino would be like pretty fun too, probably.
Right. His movies are, I mean, they're heavy with content, and the soundtracks are always fairly unique.
Yeah, exactly. And then
I definitely want to do like movies that I want to do movies that you really don't hear about, and I want to do movies that are well known, obviously.
yeah. All right, guys, that was Cherry Bomb Coliseum. I hope you enjoyed it, and I sure had a lot of fun doing this. So, well,
Oh, we're gonna do this again, so don't worry. I had a great time doing this.
all right. Until next time.
Later, guys.